If HP knew what HP knew, HP would have been 3 times more profitable.
Our esteemed chief guest today is a name synonymous with thoughtful institution building in India. Professor Sadagopan represents decades of leadership at the intersection of policy, pedagogy, and institutional design. We are honored to invite Professor to deliver the chief guest address.
Vanakkam. Good morning. Thank you all for having me. Coimbatore is always a welcome city. Whenever I come, I kind of enjoy. My job is simple, that I have been a kind of admirer of Digii100. And Hemant has been very nice. So I kind of see many of the institutions coming up so well. So I said that, look, maybe it is time that we raise the bar significantly high. So that is the advantage of old people, right? So we can kind of raise the bar. Whatever we have not done, we can ask others to do. So in a PhD thesis, we say the last chapter is recommendation for further work. What I have not done, others can do. So something similar line. So I will just talk about 4 stories, approximately 2 minutes for each story. And there is a message in all of them. I will kind of tie them around in the last 1 minute. Okay? The first story. Professor Ken Keniston, sometime you can go and kind of Google him or perplexity him. So unfortunately, a couple of years back, he passed away, 90 plus. He was one of the legendary professors at MIT. He started the Technology and Society program at MIT. So for some unusual reasons, I don't know why, the good Lord has been very kind to me. I have varieties of friends. So he was so kind, he spent 1 year with me at IIIT, and I had visited many times MIT. And then one of the conversations, he kind of quietly said that, Sadagopan, something interesting is I see happening in the next about 30 years in India. I said, Ken, what is that? He said, look, India would become, by 2050, the number 1 destination for higher education in the planet. Number 1 destination for higher education in the planet will be India by 2050. So I kind of tell Ken that, Ken, it is music to my ears, no doubt, but I can't believe it. Because I have a long association. It is only 53 years of association with the United States. So I have seen United States at close quarters. I keep visiting, must have visited 50 times. And I see the higher education system is formidable. So then I casually asked Ken, why did you go to Oxford? He's a PhD from Oxford. So he smiles and tells me, Sadagopan, you guys don't realize, in 1953, for an American student, he's a Harvard undergrad, so not an ordinary school, undergraduate from Harvard University. He said, look, going to Oxford was news. Going to Oxford was news, but going to Harvard and MIT was not news. The prestige was with Oxford and Cambridge and not with Harvard and MIT and Stanford at that time. He said, look, for 100 years, United Kingdom has been the number 1 destination for higher education on the planet. So that kind of got shifted to United States only in 60s. You all know the Bob Doyle Act, etc. Before that, 100 years, it was Germany. So it's kind of roughly 150 years, 50 to 100 years, a country stays, and then it shifts. And then I see this one shifting to India by 2050. So then he actually gave a nice cogent argument for that. He said, look, Sadagopan, look back. 52 years back when you came to India, we came to United States, US was here, India was here. But what has happened in the 50 years? US has gone up by an inch. India has gone up by a feet. I'm using exact words of Ken. The relative attractiveness of United States higher education for an Indian has gone down. Not that it has gone away, it has gone down significantly. And more interesting, it is true for 100 more countries. 100 more countries, the quality of life has increased much faster than United States. Number 2, there are less babies in United States born in the last 10 years. There will be less number of children in the school, less number of people in the colleges. So what happens? the higher education institutions start shrinking because enrollment is down. It's not that they will go away, but they will kind of. Third, India is one country where you have the big advantage which United States enjoys, which is called the English language. Of course, technically speaking, in America it is called American. Okay? But we all know it is English language, right? So you have the commonality of language. Last but not the least, he put it in a very nice way. In spite of all the commitments, in spite of all the comments which people make, India is a thriving democracy. If you put it all together, it's no big deal. Okay, so what does it mean for many of you, particularly the youngsters, many of you? In your lifetime, you will achieve it. We will be blessing it from the heavens. Okay, but isn't it amazing that we will become one of the number one destination for higher education? So it actually puts a lot of responsibility on you. So I'll give you one thing before I get on to the next story. That what touched me, that I arrived on a Sunday, 7 o'clock in the afternoon, from Chicago by a bus to a town called West Lafayette. At 7:30 p.m. in my room, there is a gentleman who comes with an envelope with $250 worth currency. My first month's scholarship was given in advance to me so that I am comfortable. Okay? So at that time, Government of India would allow me to take only $7 out because we had too much foreign exchange. Okay? I had $7, but many students did not even have $7. Okay? So those days, remember, there was no internet, there was no phone, there is not even a, okay? The person does not know me, he has not seen me, but simply on faith, he would kind of trust and give me $250. That is what the university did. I think, so that shows responsibility. So I think it is important that we become a leader and we have to play the leader's act. We cannot follow the follower's act. That is number one. Number two, just about 6-7 years back, so my colleague was telling me, he said, Sadagopan, you have been very unfair. I said, what is this very unfair? He said, look, do you know? Don't you know your secretary told you, but apparently you were not acted on it? The Consul General of United States from Chennai has been trying to reach you. He had made 3 phone calls and you have not returned the call. I said, really sorry, there was something which I did not get it, so it was something else, so I got busy. So I called back. So Chris was on the line. So Chris says, Professor, I want you to address our trade delegation coming from United States in February. And this was sometime in January 2019. So I tell Chris, I know nothing about trade. What can I talk? Chris smiles and he says that, look, Professor, you don't realize that for United States, one of the big tickets trade is higher education. 700 billion. So he said, look, all the people who are coming as part of the delegation are university presidents and deans. So I thought you are the best person to address. So I ended up, and in fact, I ended up doing it for multiple years. And many of them are still in touch, including the president of Penn State, which is such a big university. And what is kind of interesting to many of them is one thought I gave it to them. And that is something which is relevant to you also. Somewhere along, what is that we can do? So I was just telling them, imagine a possibility of Indian universities and US universities offering some unusual solutions to the global students. Some student from Vietnam, of the 4 years, he or she will spend 2 years in Vietnam, 1 year in United States, 1 year in India as part of this. A student in Singapore, because he has affordability is much higher, he would like to spend 2 years in United States, 1 year in Singapore, and 1 year in India. And maybe an Indian student would spend 3 years in India, 6 months in the United States. Okay? So things like this. Okay? That is something which seemed to have kind of excited them. So we keep talking about it. So those things are possible. So remember, one, you will become the number one destination for the world. Second thing is, as partners with the United States, which is still the leader, we would actually kind of address the needs of the students across the globe. So, sometimes I don't necessarily like the word Vishwaguru because it looks a little too bombastic. But actually, we will be gurus for the Vishwa. We can actually be teaching the whole world. I think that is a possibility. Third, because I had to do justice to Hemant, right? So Hemant, what Hemant is doing, everywhere he is putting Digi, right? So Digi Solutions digitally transforms a lot of higher educations in the country. So I'm very proud. So I actually went and I got so excited with the product. I said, look, I need education. So I kind of bothered these people and they spent half a day, one day with me, just explaining all the intricacies of, I happen to be a hardcore guy, so I also understand the software side of it. So I was just looking into the nitty-gritty of the software. But more interesting stuff. The real benefit of Digi100, Digi software would be, it will save time for the faculty. So my guess is, it will probably save an hour a day for the faculty member. An hour a day is good, because you don't have to do too much paperwork, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. So lots of things Digi will automatically do, the reports will be written, and thanks to AI, life will become even simpler. The reports will be far more readable in English. If you want, you can read in Tamil, Telugu, all that happens. But I want some homework for faculty. So what do you do with one saved 1 day, 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week? So you can't say that, look, I'll go to a movie. So I want that to go back to students. See, one of the things which we enjoy in IITs, IIITs, IIMs, etc. We spend a lot of time with students. Unfortunately, many universities, professors, don't have that much time with students. So it is time that you invest with students. Spend more time. Honestly speaking, there is no prescription. Don't have to necessarily make it office hours, don't have to make it problem solving, don't make it tutorial, etc. Just spend time. Just talk to them, have a cup of coffee with them. And I would want the managements to kind of enable it. So at IIITB, we had a simple kind of a rule. Anytime a faculty member can take any of the student out for a pizza, the institute will pay for it. Okay. It's not that they're going to do every time, right? They will maybe do 3 times a year. But it is worth it. But what I'm saying is, there is a lot more that happens outside the classroom. I think we need to facilitate that. Okay? So that is, to me, is the real power of the ERP, digitization. It is just not the efficiency. It is not that you can give the statements, the NAC faster. No, NAC is going to use AI tool. The AI tool will pick it up. Okay? So all those things are good. But to me, I think if we can spend more time with the students, I will be happy. The last thing is something interesting. Yesterday, I was just speaking to a large number of deans and heads of the departments in another institute, Sri Krishna. So I was just telling them, they kind of agreed, but it is kind of unsettling. I will use a quote from Hewlett Packard. You all know Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard started a company called HP. Dave Packard said, I quote, if HP knew what HP knew, HP would have been 3 times more profitable. Unquote. Let me repeat. If HP knew what HP knew, HP would have been 3 times more profitable. It's actually true for every organization. Lots of time, we the faculty members, we don't spend enough time with each other. How often people teach courses together? How often people do thesis supervision together? How often people write papers together? How often they collaborate with other faculty members outside the institute, outside the country? I think we need to kind of create that. And last but not the least, quite a few of the faculty members do not know well about other faculty members in their own institute. Sometimes it could be their own department. It's a pity. Somehow, don't take panga with me, but you, the administrators, you give them so much work. They have only time to run away from college to the homes. They don't have time. So provide avenues so that faculty can interact. So faculty should spend more time with students, faculty should spend more time with faculty, and of course students should spend more time with faculty. Students. If you actually do, I can tell you, as managers or management, you can be rest assured, things will keep flying. So that is what you should do. So don't make the faculty members come and meet you regularly and give you a lot of reports, etc. All these things Digi will take. Okay? Let faculty talk to other faculty members. I think that is much more important. Okay? So I just thought that I will kind of make this backdrop for the whole day. I'm not going to go away. I'm going to stay the whole day. So initially I thought I will run away for half an hour. But, I think as they say, the gods connive. So Guru Ayappan desired that I stay here. Okay? So I'm going to be here until the last minute. So until you guys kick me out, I'm going to be here. Okay? So we will get more time to interact. But what is important is, don't forget, you have a very unusual position. You will be actually, without you taking the effort, people will come to you and ask you to teach. So you will be teaching the whole population of the planet. So to me, and particularly the second model of United States and India, you can also do it with the United Kingdom, you can also do it with Germany, etc. So what happens is, we are going to create a new globalization. It is not a globalization of goods, it is a globalization of people. And I think if a lot more people are sensitive to the needs of a lot more countries, I think the planet will be a much better planet. The kind of geopolitics that we see today will not happen, because you see the whole world you see in a proper perspective, and you develop a much better appreciation of other countries, etc. Last but not the least, do spend time with students and kind of make it possible for faculties to spend more time with faculty, know more about their work, and they don't have to learn about something interesting happening from newspapers or annual report. They should be the first people. Thank you, and have a great time ahead. Thank you. Thanks, Hemant.